See, my core competencies are planning. My core competencies are planning, procurement, manufacturing, and quality assurance. And my executive experience mostly with manufacturing and quality assurance. And similarly, while my service at DGQA, Directorate General of Quality Assurance, that certain administrative qualities, HR functions have been added.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors, the podcast where we uncover the journeys of leaders shaping industries, policies, and businesses. And today we have someone extraordinary with us. He's not just a leader, he's a strategist, a governance expert, and a force behind some of the most critical advancements in India's defense, manufacturing, and quality assurance sectors. With nearly 4 decades of experience across the Ministry of Defense, Bharat Heavy Electricals, and Ordnance Factories, he has played a pivotal role in project planning, industrial assessment, procurement, and governance frameworks that impact national security and industrial growth. He has not only witnessed the transformation of these industries, he has been a key part of driving that transformation. And today we get to sit down and hear his incredible story firsthand. So it is my absolute pleasure to welcome Mr. Venkateswara Babu Sunkara to FaceTime with Leaders. Mr. Sunkara, what an honor to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you for welcoming. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Sunkara, with a career spanning nearly 4 decades, you have seen industries evolve, technologies advance, and leadership transform. But before we dive into the finer details of governance, procurement, and strategic planning, I would love to hear it straight from you. How did this journey begin? From your early days in engineering to leading critical defense and industrial projects, what were the key moments, challenges, and decisions that shaped your path?
Yeah, after completion of my diploma, I joined as an instructor in private ITI at my native place. After a small stunt there, I get into one of the India's Navatna PSUs, Bharat Heavy Electricals, as a diploma apprenticeship training. So during the training, I watched these executive trainees, those who come with graduation. They are, after 1 year of their training, they get into permanency permanency as an engineer, and from there they raise to the level of even directors and CMDs also. I saw them while passing through the gates. The factories have gates, security gates, and other things like that. They pass through securities without frisking. Whereas with apprentices and workmen and all, we get checked every day while going out. This really, when I have seen this, it has given an impression in my mind that one day I have to become an executive. So to become an executive, I just checked my qualification is not sufficient. I have to improve upon my qualification. Then I just found that one of the courses offered by the Institution of Engineers India, that is called AMI, Associate Member of Institution of Engineers, they conduct examinations for the part 1 and part 2. So this facilitates, while working itself, we can do that course. So I finished that course. Then I finished that course. Afterwards, I joined, during the course itself, after completion of my training at BHL, I got selected into one of the ordnance factories. It is under Ministry of Defense. As I have diploma qualification, I joined as a supervisory role. After completion of certain period in the year 2001, I have written limited departmental competitive examination. That is called LDCE in short. I completed that, and after selection that, I have been posted to Ordnance Factory, Tiruchirappalli, where it is manufactured, where these arms and ammunition are manufactured, particularly rifles to the Indian Army. There, I was made Group B officer as a junior works manager, and I have been given responsibility of 2 production shops. I was responsible for 500 people's output. after completion of 5 years service there, a milestone in my career has happened. I got selected into Group A service. It is a Central Civil Service Group A through Union Public Service Commission to the Department of Defense Production. Same but the field is different. It is a Director General of Quality Assurance. After that, I got the promotions and other thing eventually I retired in the year 2023 as a director after getting into the promotions. Then, during my career, pursuing my career also, I have not stopped my education. While in the initial stages, I completed AMIE, and afterwards, I have completed my MBA in MBA from Alagappa University, and then e-governance from a very prestigious institute, TAPI Management Institute. I was passionate at that time, then Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, his initiatives of e-governance and other things, that led me into taking the course of e-governance.
That's such an incredible journey, Mr. Shankara. Hearing about the experiences and turning points that shaped your career really puts into perspective the depth of your leadership.
And while doing these things, while pursuing my career span over 40 years, I believe two principles. One is Kaste Phali, that means no pain and no gain. And the other one is Sachameva Jayate, where truth only trumps. These two things I always keep in mind. I believe it, and I applied both at home as well as the official fronts.
Amazing, amazing. So, Mr. Shankara, leadership comes with tough decisions, the kind that test your vision, strategy, and sometimes even your own instincts. In your roles at the Ministry of Defense and DGQA, you have handled high-stakes projects where the right choice wasn't always the easiest one. No. So could you share a moment when you faced a particularly challenging decision, one that carried risk or long-term impact, and how it shaped you as a leader?
See, from the career starting at very low level of supervisor and retiring at the level of director, it's a great journey. During this period, for example, if you talk about a supervisory role, it requires certain skills, managing the men and seeing the output and other things. Again, these supervisors are guided or even led by, again, managerial roles. So when I become manager, I have to increase my leadership skills. I have to improve upon. So I succeeded while managing around 500 people in ordnance factory teaching. Here what happened, I learned that leader should be ideal to the people who are following him and impartial. And at the same time, he should be able to take decision without any delay. He should give proper decision, and he should be unbiased, and he should be well knowledgeable. So the way I am growing in the organization, I am also learning these skills on the job as well as with my training or my intelligence and my efforts into the workplace. I am learning my own and then improved upon my skills.
Absolutely. That's such a powerful insight into what real leadership looks like.
What happened, every year we have to manufacture, of course, I cannot reveal the quantity of the output. Then what happened, there are daily targets. I was responsible for 2 production shops, and I was responsible for the daily target. Suppose if I miss a daily target, it's a problem for the assembly. Assembly of the main product, rifle will not come out. So here, and apart from this, daily targets, again monthly and all cumulative together, the annual targets, and we have to report to the Ministry of Defense. Here what happened, at the same time, inflation, cost of the product should not increase. Say, for example, our inflation or that thing leads that the product this year costs 100 rupees, maybe next year, as per the inflation and all other things together calculated, may cost about 110 rupees, say, for example. Example, I am telling you. So, for example, in the second year, when we again continuing the production and other thing like that, our operation cost and all together put together, that cost of the product should not be more than 110 rupees. So here what happened, we need to revise the piece rates. This revision of piece rates on the lower side, I told very broadly, from rising from supervisory level to director level, how I improved upon my leadership skills. But this is one example where what happened, we have to reduce the piece rates. It is I worked there about 5 years. All the 5 years, this is the phenomena. Every year, after completion of the financial year, for next year, we have to plan. We have to plan the rates, piece rates. Say, for example, if management tells that to the worker, right, today piece rate, for example, for one piece you are getting 100 rupees, tomorrow, next year onwards you are getting 90 rupees, this fellow may not accept. Definitely, for anybody, pay packet is affected, and the sense downside, no worker or no union accept these things. It takes a lot of negotiations, a lot of, reconciliation meetings and other thing like that. And all the 5 years struggled a lot. Here, what happened? There is one more advantage is there to the worker community. In the sense, say, for example, management also is like that. If you reduce this much percentage or this much rate and other thing like that, we are going to improve your working hours, increase your working hours, and we pay the overtime or something like that. And all. So it is a win-win situation, and it is a give and take policy. So what happened? There also what happened? There are toughness. Certain people, what happened, sir, my component is very difficult to manufacture and it is very difficult. This many operations are there. I cannot see. This is all I'm telling you 25 years back. It is all conventional routes and other thing like that. Where this even AI or Industry 4.0 are not into the place. So here what happened? Everybody has to work physically. So it was very difficult to convince workmen to reduce the rates, and management gives the, because I was junior worksman as there, I'm a middle person there. I have to make a cushion between these two, and I have to convince both my top management as well as my workers. And note that I was responsible for 2 production shops, and the 1 production shop, what policy I have to adapt, what calculations or whatever scenario adapted there, I cannot adapt in the second. It is entirely different. Even in the same factory also, situations are different. This thing. But I could able to do it because of the mutual discussions. Always, see, I'm not alone. I'm with my staff members and other things. I have to take my staff people. See, so for example, it's a management decision in the sense top management every day will not sit with these people. Believe it or not, one time in 1 year, these price negotiations, that in government, it has gone about 1 month. 1 month we have, undergoing all these discussions only. Finally, we were able to succeed it. But it is very difficult in government and factories to manage production. There I learned a lot of negotiation skills. And what happened at the same time, we have to be with the people. It is not that though we are across the table, other side, say for example, across the table, other party is there, this side one party is there. But thing is that these 2 people, though on the other sides, 2 sides of the table, but they have to come for one common point. They have to come for one common platform, and they have to come for one common understanding. Sometimes what happened is very difficult. And moreover, that time, the factory, though we were having around 1,800 people, we were with 13 unions. 13 unions. That too, working in government is very difficult because what happened, their jobs are secured. Same time, of course, from the GM to the lowest fellow, everybody's job is secured. First of all, getting output is very difficult. Daily output. Apart from this rate, reduction in the piece rates and other thing like that, hell of the problems are there. Only thing this is with the negotiations, and always we have to give confidence that we are with you people. We are not going to, in the sense, not affect your pay packet. First, we have to give that confidence to them. Your pay packet is not affected. And apart from this, what happens? It is not that, see, for example, simply say that to only reduce the piece rate. No. Here, what happened? Again, we have to increase our operational efficiencies. Say, for example, we were doing conventional machines. We bring it to CNC. What happened? Cycle time reduces. When cycle time reduces, their effort is reduced. When the effort is reduced, cycle time reduced, effort is reduced. That has to result to the higher production. So further they have to accept it. So all these things we made them to understand, and then we brought into one platform. So we could able to succeed all the 5 years. This reduction of piece rates and increasing the production happened. This was the toughest time actually, negotiating with the workmen and other thing like that, and getting the daily output. That 5 years is a tough time actually, but of course I succeeded. And I just want to make a point here that in the middle managers level, the middle management category, I was in top 3 liked by the general manager, executive of the that particular factory. I was always
Great.
In all the 5 years, I was top 3. I cannot say number 1, but I am in top 3.
Great, Mr. Shankara. So moving on to question number 3, from manufacturing efficiencies to technological advancements, from policy frameworks to skills development, what do you believe are the biggest roadblocks industries need to overcome? And more importantly, how do we bridge these gaps to ensure India isn't just keeping up, but leading on the global stage?
Yeah, I tell you, for example, way back in 1983, or where I started my career and other thing like that, we were dependent on conventional machines totally conventional machines, and the output is that's what we work in shifts, 3 shift or 2 shift possible and other thing like that, and whatever cycle time and other thing like that, it has limitations over a period of time. Those days, what happened, even we have called NC machines also, numerical control machines, where card punching through computer programming, cards will be punched and that is fed to the machine. It's a big, this one, magnetic reading tapes are there, like that are there. Where, say, for example, you see how the computer is evaluated and now how laptop has come. Same way, that can be correlated in the manufacturing side also. Now, moving like that from conventional to NC to CNC, CNC to DNC, and then now we are on part of AI. Now, AI into manufacturing. AI into manufacturing, big industries. Say, big industries, easily they can adopt the AI policies or AI technologies, because they can afford capital. Whereas if you talk about SMEs, it's very difficult. Their optional cost is very high. They cannot implement, they cannot input that amount of capital at once. Apart from AI and machine learning technologies into manufacturing and other thing like that, even skill development also is required actually. Skill development, of course, Government of India has taken initiative of skill development. Still there is a gap. I just want to say, for example, if you talk about driverless cars, it is happening in Western world. The gap between the Western world and our India, if you see, still we have to see driverless cars on the road. Infrastructure requirements, cost involvement, skill development. I feel these are the roadblocks. And here what happened, to overcome these things, say for example, employing the higher capital, employing huge capitals. Government is giving initiatives to, incentives to SMEs, but still there is a gap. Everywhere, target and achievements, gap is there. Similar way, the technological advancement and implementation part, gap is there. For example, if you want to say, for example, we want to introduce a new model car. probably it may take 3 months. But at the same time, you want to implement, you want to introduce a new defense system into Ministry of Defense, it takes minimum 5 years. Because lot of testing, lot of prototype, lot of testing is required. Where actually what happened, there is a predictive performance testing. If you go through that, AI or automation, anything, these new technologies, if you implement, what happened, we can predict the failure of the part in advance itself. It is not that we physically build the part, you assemble it, you run it, and for a period of time, or till it fails and other things. Of course, there was in the past also there were methods are there, prototype testing is there, simulation is there, and all those things. Now still more than that, it has come now with the help of AI, predictive maintenance or predictive failures and other things like that. Predictive life testing. So all these things what happened can lead and can cut short the lead time for development. Design also now previously what happened, people generally manually they design and they take A0 size printing and other thing like that. Now A0 size printing is nowadays is not there. Everything is on computer and everything in simple one laptop and all. A0 size or any size it is accommodated. Design softwares have come like that. Previously they have to sit together and every detail and other thing like that from the main A0 size or whatever is there and all, they have to brought down and they have to do. It takes a lot of time actually. Now even but design softwares like that everywhere, automation is there. That automation is properly to be integrated to the single single goal. I feel roadblocks for this implementation is the capital involvement, huge capital investment for SMEs. It is a huge investment for them. Another thing, the second most thing is that skill development, and the third one is infrastructure. These three things we have to improve for a realization of AI and automation and implementing new technologies in present day manufacturing to get the maximum output as well as the effectiveness of the organization.
Absolutely, Mr. Shankara. Since we're talking about technology and that automation and AI revolutionizing manufacturing and quality assurance, processes are becoming smarter and more efficient. But with this transformation comes a big question: what happens to traditional roles? Given your experience in shaping industry standards, how do you see these roles evolving? And what must professionals do to stay relevant in this fast-changing landscape?
Well, this here, what happened, if you see, 20, 30 years back, what happened, we see factories are having different departments: design, planning, quality in the sense quality will have output quality as well as input material quality and other thing like that. And again, production, if you come to the production planning, procurement, all different departments all together there means manually all these things are being done. All these are to be integrated properly, and we have to work back, target, say for example, CPM, critical part method, and program evaluation review techniques. These are the two project management softwares. Project management principles actually. This what happened, these were manual, everything when it was manual and other thing like that, it all to be integrated, and then it has to be. Now what happened, everything is, say for example, now design is there. Say for example, design, if you talk about design now, say for example, the person who is manufacturing may not be knowing who has designed this particular component. Maybe in India or maybe outside also. But thing is that similarly, the design person don't know where it is being manufactured or where it is being utilized also. The technology is evolved like that. These are all to improve the operating efficiency. Previously, what happened, everything is at one place. review or anything like that, and all that it takes time actually. Review design of experiments 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, like that, development, all those things. Now what happened? Everywhere technology involvement is there. Technological advancements are there. No, as I said earlier, design is doing somebody else, maybe in some other country also, where a cost and other thing is reduced. Other thing, manufacturing also. Say, for example, if you talk about the manufacturing of the, manufacturing, particularly automobile components manufacturing or anything like that, most of the companies are in India as well as in China. These two countries are exporting components to Germany as well as Japan and US also. Because they are sourcing from here because the cost involved. So here what happened, automation everywhere, automation when it is there, but that has to be in proper place actually.
Rightly said, Mr. Shankara. All right, so continuing our conversation, looking at everything you have accomplished, from leading critical defense projects to shaping governance and industrial standards, you have already left an incredible mark. But I have to ask, what's next? Are there any future aspirations, goals, or areas where you still see opportunities to make an impact?
Having experienced from very low level to, to the comparably a good level, at the level of director, I retired. And in the process, I learned, see, for example, I learned at the ground level, I'm telling you. See, there are difference between the person who becomes directly at the senior level. Of course, he joins at senior level means he again goes to the very senior level. That's a different issue, but I'm not demeaning that one, what happened. But what I'm telling, my credential is that I learned from the ground. So I can be best fit. And moreover, what happened, I am experienced. See, my core competencies are planning. My core competencies are planning, procurement, manufacturing, and quality assurance. And my executive experience mostly with manufacturing and quality assurance. And similarly, while my service at DGQA, Directorate General of Quality Assurance, that certain administrative qualities, HR functions have been added. So altogether, I can say that I am with not one function of the engineering or managerial side or leadership side. I have multiple functions in my basket so that I can bring to the table and I can give, and I'm confident that I can, with my experience, I can make a good decision. See, for a leader to be successful, I feel, it's my strong opinion, for a leader to be successful, the foremost thing is that he has to give the decision, but to in time. That is my viewpoint. And I always, wherever I am there, even at the level of supervisor, I need to take certain decision, I will take that. At the same time, at the level of director, I have to give instructions. At the same time, I have to give decision. All those things should be fast. And moreover, to be in the market, I always have to be at the top. In the sense, I have to learn also. You can see my profile. I have not stopped learning. Not after becoming a Group A. After becoming Group A also, I got into TFI Management Institute for pursuing my e-governance program. So I feel that still the journey is on, and I will be, looking forward to exhibit my expertise so that it is a mutual benefit. So that wherever I go, organization also get benefit. At the same time, I also, particularly, I am looking for the, in the sense, looking in the industries, particularly mechanical engineering industries, as well as automobile industries, and certain organizations like quality, there are quality assurance agencies are there, where I can, quality assurance agencies are there, certification agencies, certification bodies are there. I can go there as advisory roles. even in the manufacturing industries and automobile industries, I look forward to get into some director and advisory roles where I can implement my learning as well as my expertise.
That's truly inspiring, Mr. Shankara, and hearing about your aspirations and how you are still looking to create impact after such a remarkable career is incredible. So, talking about ESG, it has become a key driver in how industries operate, pushing beyond compliance to influence quality, production, and accountability. With your expertise in governance and industrial standards, how do you see these frameworks shaping the future? Are industries truly integrating ESG into their core practices, or is there still a long way to go?
Yeah, it's a long way to go actually. Why? Because, for example, you have to do this activity if you tell a person and we go away, the person will not do that. Simple example, there are one ways in the, road. Suppose if police constable is not there, suppose a two-wheeler can go shortcut and he will go. Similar way, if you see the engineering industries, for example, I tell you way back in 1980s, where I started my career, there is a coolant oil. I'm talking about this environmental and social governance only I'm talking. Okay, environmental and social governance. See, when we talk about 80s and 90s, where I started my career, even ISO was not there. ISO in the sense Indian Standard Organization, there was no QMS also. QMS means quality management certification was not there. Quality management systems were not there. When quality management systems were not there, say for example, we have a machine shop. There what happened? Coolant oil for doing machining to reduce the heat and other thing like that. We use and to improve the tool life, we use the coolant oil. It's a water soluble oil. But what happened? It is to be disposed of properly. But in those days, what happened? Industries having so much areas. After workshop, they have small, so much ground is there. They put in the water or in the ground itself directly. Or sometimes what happened? See, now CP, that pollution control boards, how it has come. So these are things. Now here what happened? Now, when the time passes like this, QMS have in place quality management systems. Companies, organizations or factories, they thought that we have to go for the QMS to maintain our level of quality of production and other thing like that, or to be into the market. Say, for example, the vendor sees that whether this fellow is having this industry is having the QMS certification or not like that. So this industry is having QMS certification, we can go for purchasing the component. So similar way, QMS, with the advancement of time and other thing like that, in the ISO certifications, QMS have come, environmental health and safety have come, social audit have come, like that. So many have come into the place. But here what happened? Organizations now, say for example, that coolant they are throwing out like that and all. Now they are collecting it. And they're recycling it. Possible recycling it, or their proper way of disposing it off. They are not, in the sense, they are not spoiling the environment. So, being a quality assurance man, that too from DGQA, we have even audits of these organizations, mainly for QMS, but we go for the EHS and how these things are also being done. Now, over a period of time, what happened? Organizations have become cautious towards the ESG. Now, what happened? Previously, this what happened from the government side also. What happened? If you have these things, you're maintaining this type of standards or something like that, we will give you the certification like that. What happened? It is a mandatory like thing and all like that. If that is not mandatory, they will not follow. That's what initially I told. No, when policy is there, the person will not do the mistake. Similar way here also, what happened? If you if you compliance this, I will give you the certificate. But now that situation is gone now. Over a period of time, what happened? That's it. See, now what happened? Very primitive, that throwing away. Now what happened? They are controlling. Government policies are there, they are controlling it. Now what happened? Voluntarily, government organizations are doing it. And they are putting in their website or their organization info, they are putting it. We are all doing like this and all. That way it has come even corporate social responsibility also. That's why I feel it is, again, still it is a long way. See, this, whatever I have spoken, voluntarily organizations are coming up, maybe a big organization. Still, there is a small organizations where they are not able to afford all this. Again, they do via media. There, what happened again? Government control is required. That's the reason I told that it's a long way. So if you see anything, I mean, in the sense advancement, technical advancements, if you talk about our implementation part, if you see, even for example, we can talk about this BS4, BS6, and other thing like that. After a long time, when other world has gone to BS6, BS4, we were doing BS3 also. Of course, BS6 was not there. When other parts of the world they are doing BS4 and other thing like that, we were with BS2. Slowly now we have come to BS4 and now we are in BS6 also. But thing is that again there what happened? The gap. See here what happened actually. That implementation. One has to have that gene. My organization or my this one. I am up to this mark. My standard is this. Say for example, this organization say that I am CMM level 5 certification. The process maturity and all.
That's such an important perspective, Mr. Sunkara. And it's clear that ESG is no longer just about compliance. It's about creating real lasting impact. Mr. Sunkara, stepping into Directors Institute marks an exciting new chapter in your journey. And with your vast experience in governance, leadership, and industry standards, I'm sure this platform offers a fresh perspective and new opportunities. So, how has your experience been so far?
Yeah, actually, one day what happened, I was going through this DI's webinar, this one. So I attended it. It is not that just attended, and moreover, what happened, the requirements also told that persons experience with the government and other thing like that, where we do the, particularly we follow the frameworks and particularly where, see, actually compliance part. I was going through that webinar and other thing like that. It was mentioned there that professionals from the government also can get into independent directors like that. There I shown little interest. Okay, then let me get into that. Afterwards, I made little research. I understand that there are about some 30,000 directors deficiency there in government. And here, what happened? There are about some 22,000 people, professionals registered for this proficiency test conducted by this MCA. But only 11,000 only passed. Means 58% only passed. First of all, compared to that figures, 30,000 requirement, whereas registration is only 22,000, but out of that only 11,000 passed. So, I mean, I had some little interest there. So why don't I get into this? Let me check up, and where I can definitely I can, make my impact or my mark with my background of my experience in manufacturing, quality assurance particularly, and of course coupled with other major functions of the organization. See, I believe in, since, most of this talk I told that we can, a good leader can be, a good leader has to give a decision fast. I believe in. And apart from that, my basic principles of Kaste Fali and Satchameva Jayate. So basically what happened, apart from the information given by DA in the webinar and the shortage of these professionals in India, I want to make my impact there as one of the directors in any of the company. That's why I just get into this. I got into this DA. And now I'm here with you.
Incredible, Mr. Sunkara. And it's always exciting when experienced leaders step into a space that fosters growth and governance excellence. What an insightful conversation we had. And just like that, we have reached the end of another incredible conversation. So, Mr. Sunkara, your insights on leadership, governance, and industry transformation have been truly, truly inspiring. And to our audience, whether you are in a professional navigating leadership, an industry expert, or someone passionate about the evolving business landscape, there is so much to take away from today's episode. Remember, true leadership isn't just about where you are today, but about how you adapt, innovate, and lead change for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mr. Sunkara, thank you for sharing your journey with us. It's been an absolute privilege.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And to everyone tuning in, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and follow FaceTime with Leaders for more inspiring conversations. Until next time, keep learning, keep leading, and keep shaping the future. Thank you so much, and have a nice time.